This is Owen McKendrew for ESBR Boxing. Delighted to be joined in Ultra Income by Francis Warren. Francis, what a main event we have just seen. Majority draw, didn't go down too well with the local crowd. Do you feel it was a fair result? I mean, we get to see the fight again, so in my opinion, yes, but what do you think?
Neither of the guys deserve to lose that tonight. I think that's the best way I can sum it up. You can make a case for both guys to have won that. I myself, I actually had it a draw.
Scored it a draw.
I get being the nerd I am. There we go. So yeah, and I didn't just fill that in after the fight. No, listen, it's Mark really grew into the weight tonight. Showed a lot of bottle, and he's had a tough time recently, Mark. Jack, brought on by a really passionate home crowd, performed as Jack performs, was just a warrior. Thought Mark might have got stopped mid rounds, but he found a second win and bit down his gum shield, wiped his eyes and got on with it. And it was just a terrific fight. And we'd be like, I'd like to see it again, 100%.
I was going to say two things I was going to ask that you picked up on there. I think it was around round 7 where I thought it was done. I thought Jack Rafferty was going to stop Mark Chamberlain. The second win was unbelievable. We've got to see it again, haven't we? Yeah. I'm not sure if you ask Mark and Jack now if they'd agree, if they want to do that again, because I think you saw the embrace that they had at the end of the fight. There was more embrace there than there was clinching and holding during the fight, because it was just all out action and it was just a ferocious pace set by both guys. Both landed big shots, clean shots. Heads being snapped back and left, right, and centre from both guys, and just very entertained by two absolute warriors. Elsewhere on the card, I definitely want to talk about Jack Turner probably losing the fight at that stage. How good is that of a learning curve for him? The man he was fighting was so game. He was sticking it all over him, and then wow.
He's a little bugger, isn't he? He made hard work of it. But that guy was very. He was a dangerous customer. I think Jack will agree. He took too many shots. But in the day, W's a W, and he come through it, and that will set him in better stead than a one-round routine knockout would have done. So I think in fights 2 or 3 down the line, he can draw back on that experience and call on the tough rounds he had there and use it to his advantage.
I think definitely so. I said myself, I looked at the rounds on his box rec record after. I think it's 8 first round stoppages and a second round stoppage. Out of sort of at this stage of his career, rounds are important, and there was some tough rounds in there. So, as you called him, a little bugger, but he's going to be entertaining, isn't he, for Queensbury?
When I say he's a little bugger, it's like it just goes and goes and goes. So tonight he just went, and you could always see that he was going to eventually get to the guy. Just could have been nice to have seen it a bit cleaner. But like I said, he'll look in the mirror tomorrow. His face is definitely marked up, and he'll think to himself, right, I've got shit to work on. However, that experience is golden.
I know you've got a few interviews to do, so one more from me. Elsewhere from tonight, Moses Itauma. It's unbelievable performance against Dylan White. Another first round stoppage. The people want to see what they want to see. Turkey's mentioned Usyk. People have mentioned Hrgovic. What does Francis Warren want to see for Moses Itauma next?
It's a difficult one to answer, because if the big elite fights come knocking, Moses will want to take them. He's capable of taking those fights and winning those fights. But he's 20 years old, he's had 13 fights, so if there is room for developmental fights that still bring attention regarding rankings and commercial success, then that's a great option too. I think the main point to notice is that the world's his oyster. Doesn't have to do anything, and he can pick and choose what he wants to do. He's a phenomenal guy, phenomenal talent, and Be a couple of weeks and you'll start getting some answers.
So there is something in the pipeline for Motors Itauma.
Many things.
Francis Warren, thank you so much for your time.